Hello, who's there?
Hi, my name is Hugh Chapman.
Hi, Hugh.
Hi. I'd like to make a comment about the previous radio show and the show that's on at the moment. If
Yeah.
that's possible.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
You are on the air now, you know that, don't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I can hear a kind of chuckling in the background that suggests to me that there might be somebody chuckling in the background.
well, there is in fact.
Somebody chuckling in the background.
Well, we rather enjoyed the last radio show.
No, it was rubbish. You can't possibly enjoy that kind of nonsense. You sound like a young buck.
It was brilliant.
He's a saddo.
I'm nearly 19.
There you are, you see. How can you enjoy a dinosaur like him?
Well, I mean, he was blunt and stern. You know.
You like that?
Do you?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah.
I live in Horsham.
I thought you might.
Why's that?
Well, you know, Horsham, Burgess Hill, all that sort of thing.
Well, there's no need to get personal about where I live.
It's not being personal. You can't be personal about Burgess Hill. Somebody emailed last week, because I mentioned that I wasn't too fond of Camberley, and somebody emailed and said that Burgess Hill is worse.
Well, quite possibly that's true, yeah.
Now he's being personal about Burgess Hill.
Well, I mean...
Have you been to Burgess Hill lately?
Well, I haven't been to Burgess Hill in a while, but I used to have a friend who lived there.
Well, what are your views on Burgess Hill?
That's a bit boring, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now look at you now.
Well,
a young Bob Staunton.
Well, I mean, Bob, I have to admit, has raised a good point about Doctor Who, for example. I mean...
Doctor Who's fantastic.
Is it? Doctor Who...
How did you do that?
There's an echo.
How did you do that?
Yeah.
You're like Lord Allen and Ray Charles. No, Lord Charles and Ray Allen.
Well...
You don't get vents anymore, do you? Who was the last vent?
No, it kind of died a death, and I'm glad. Ventriloquism, no.
You're losing track of the point here.
No, we're still with you on it.
Well, like Doctor Who...
Yeah.
...was a cheap, poor creation on TV that was spout over far too long. And truly, I mean, I feel that it's a programme that would be watched by rather cretinous people. Right? There's no... You don't have to think about it whatsoever. It's boring. You know, think of good sequels where you sort of actually have to think about it. You know, like
what?
Well, I mean, take for example, I would say a good. Well, I suppose it's different, but I would say that, for example, although it's probably a bad example, but Midsummer Murders. Laugh at me all you like, I don't really care.
Midsummer Murders. That's very Burgess Hill, if you don't mind me saying.
Is 19 your age or your IQ, man?
You watch Midsummer Murders.
IQ? We're talking about IQ now, are we?
Yes, you know, the Swedish furniture people. Look, come on, be 19 for God's sake.
I am being 19.
No, you're being 19 going on 47 and sensible.
Yeah.
Now stop it, stop being sensible.
Well,
be 19.
Someone has to be sensible, don't they?
No.
Well,
everything that's wrong with the world is people who think they have to be sensible. There are times to be sensible and times not to be sensible. And being 19 and sensible isn't going to get you any house points on this show on a Saturday night.
No. Well, that's not really what I'm not looking for respect or anything. You know.
Well, you're certainly not getting any.
Well, I'm fully aware of that.
This is fun, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is quite interesting. It is, I would say, made this radio show better. It has sort of made it...
what you have?
Well, not necessarily me, you as well. Yeah, it takes two to tango, doesn't it?
Well, not necessarily.
I suppose it depends how sad you are. I mean, if you do the tango by yourself, then that is pretty...
I've never done the tango with anybody else, and I wouldn't. That's saddest, doing the tango with somebody else. Doing the tango by yourself is something that we do all do.
Yeah.
in the room occasionally. It's like a guitar, isn't it? Or, you know, using the hairbrush as a microphone.
Well, I mean, if that's what you do, I can't help but feel remotely sorry for you, really.
Well, I actually don't do it, but I know that people do, so I'm just kind of centering with a section of the listenership here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed your call very much indeed. I hope you'll keep listening and call again soon.
I will do.
Good.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was alright, wasn't it?
You alright?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm just one of Hugh's friends.
I thought you might be.
Yeah.
Do you like Midsummer Murders as well?
Yeah, it's a brilliant programme. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, well, this whole debate about Munich.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you might say, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that basically we beat them in 2 world wars. We should be able to call their cities what we like, I think. So
That's a bit harsh.
Well, it's a bit harsh.
And I don't think in the case of either calamity that was any of our purpose. To earn the right to call their cities what we want to.
How would you like it?
I don't think that's what they fought for, but you know, it's still quite relative.
But you're a bright young man.
I am well, I do history. I'm an A-level history student.
I can tell that. And
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
you're a state education, obviously.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Why did we end up? Why did we start calling Munich, München Munich?
I don't actually know. Do you know?
No, I don't. But I do know that Chamberlain met Hitler, didn't he?
Yeah.
Before the Second World War started.
Yeah, he did.
And Hitler obviously thought they were meeting in München.
Yeah.
And Chamberlain was under the impression that it took place in Munich.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to hit it off, these guys, are they?
No, that is the point, actually.
You see my 08459 570057.
Hi.
Hello?
Here's the number. Hello?
Hello. It's Hugh again. On a more serious point at the moment.
Look, you can't hog the switchboard too much, Matt.
Yeah, I know.
Very nice to
I know.
talk to you.
I'd just like to raise a point very quickly.
Okay.
We might have a yellow card, Hugh.
Sorry,
No.
but I feel like it's quite. I don't know if other people feel the same. That's the thing. I'd like to find that out. Well, we were just discussing that we don't mind gays unless you know, when they're normal, but when they're like really camp and in your face as gay, we find that a bit a bit strange and uncomfortable. We feel uncomfortable when we're put in that situation.
Does that happen to you then?
Well, yeah. I mean, as you say, 1 in 10 people are gay, and there do seem to be almost an increasing number of them. Who you know are okay with saying that they're, you know, homosexual or whatever. And it's just that if you didn't know that someone was gay, then it's a lot easier to speak to them. Unless you if you feel uncomfortable around them being so openly gay, if you know, can you understand what I'm saying?
How old are you now?
I'm nearly 19.
Yes. I think I possibly thought along the same lines myself when I was 19.
Yeah.
And then I met lots of gay people, and I found them more interesting the more flamboyant they were, quite honestly. Actually, you know. But that was because by then, I didn't find anything to be scared about them, because there isn't anything to be scared about. But you don't know that when you're young. Yeah. So I sympathise, but you'll find yourself thinking very differently, I expect, in a few years' time.
Yeah.
That's my own view. What do you think, Alison?
Well, what makes you feel uncomfortable?
Well, it's just, I don't know, seeing a man, I suppose, almost behaving like a woman. You know, the way they talk and dress. There was one kid at my mate's college called Maze, and he was really gay. Yeah. And openly gay.
Yeah.
And they have a charity week, where you've got pajama day and kinky day.
Yeah.
And things like that. But kinky day, he came in purely a set of Y fronts, and that sort of stuff. He wears, and like he came out dressed in a leather catsuit, and
good for him.
Is it because these people are being different and standing out from the crowd that it makes you feel uncomfortable? Because then you have to think about the alternative, and would it be better if everybody was the same? And everybody just sort of blended in?
I think everyone should be, each their own. They should do this exactly whatever they want to, I suppose. But, it's quite difficult to explain, I suppose. Like, it just makes me feel uncomfortable.
I do agree with Tommy on this, that it probably is, and I know this sounds a bit patronising, I don't mean it to be, but I do think it probably is your age, and I do think as you get older, you'll feel a lot more comfortable and more relaxed about being around people who are different from yourself.
Yeah.
I do think so.
So, I mean, really, you're insinuating that my cranial capacity is not developed to the same extent as yours?
I wouldn't say that, but what I would say is that, I don't know what's making you feel uncomfortable. What I would say, perhaps your sexuality is still not in question, but perhaps you're still, exploring your sexuality. And maybe that's why you're feeling uncomfortable.
Yes, suppose. You're saying that potentially I might be gay.
I didn't say that now, did I?
No, but if you want to have that nonsense conversation, we can have that. Yes, maybe you are a bit puffy.
I just think you have to work out...
Let me ask the question. If you had to go to bed with a man for your life, okay, who would it be?
Steve!
David Beckham.
No,
Surely.
fuck that.
No, seriously, go on, seriously. It's a serious dare, this, okay?
I don't know.
If you,
one of my mates, Steve.
Because it's worth thinking about. Supposing aliens landed and they said that we're going to kill everybody who won't have a homosexual experience within 48 hours, you'd have to go to bed with somebody, otherwise you would be horribly killed by lizard-like aliens.
You've been watching too much Doctor Who, I reckon.
Well, it's worth thinking about. Thank you for your call.
It wouldn't happen in Midsummer Murders.
Who would you make love to? Which woman would you make love to if you had to? If you had to have a lesbian experience because it's required by lizard aliens called the Vendlis from the planet Zob. They land and they're just perverts. And they
Madonna,
decide.
probably. She'd know what she was doing.
I'm there.
I think, yeah. What about you?
Madonna too.
No. Which man?
Madonna.
No.
I know more than you do. No, that was just a remark. Which man?
Yeah.
It's difficult. Right. I mentioned David Beckham, and I think he's... But yeah, possibly. Depends on what sort of... what sort of actual homosexual experience it is. It's a ludicrous thing to talk about, but on the other hand, quite enlightening, isn't it? And there's quite a few people listening going, this is an absolute disgrace, this is absolutely disgusting, but at the same time they're thinking to themselves,
Now,
everybody listening is thinking, who would I choose if you had... And stranger things have happened at sea. Quite literally, probably.
Yes.
Line 5, what do you say?
Hi, I'd just like to say that Hugh in Horsham sounds very attractive, and if he could pass the number on to the radio station, I'd love to get together with him.
Okay, thank you for that, Hugh. I'm sure he's listening. And actually they're having a laugh and then wondering what that means. And now,
Hello?
Well, it's not quite Hugh, but it's Steve again.
It's not quite Hugh.
Not quite Hugh. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
quickly.
I know. I'm sorry, for taking up most of your show.
Yeah. Well, that's all right because that's all right because you're good and you're.
Yeah, I know. I think they're loving us, really. All the people out there.
I don't know. It sounds to me as though you've been at his mum's advocaat, so watch it.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, I've got a few issues. Firstly, who was the person he sent in the text about Crawley?
A man called John in Hailsham.
John?
Yes.
Yeah, because Crawley is pretty rubbish.
Crawley
So,
is.
yeah, that's where I live, so...
It's got a good sports centre.
Well, has it? Well, like,
Yes, it has.
I live in Crawley. And,
I think Crawley's great.
No, I live in Crawley, yeah? And I'll tell you a story. Someone who lived, like, about 6 doors down from me, he was a terrorist, so...
Oh, steady on. I mean, thankfully that's sufficiently ludicrous not to be libelous.
Well, no.
And the guy.
No, honestly, he actually got arrested for terrorism.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about here. So we'll move on swiftly because allegedly, and the man opposite you is an alien. So we'll, go. But that's no reflection on Crawley, and it's got nothing to do with the Tombra of Crawley.
Yeah.
Which I think is a vibrant place. Do you know what I like most about Crawley? It has the highest ethnic population in this area. And the one thing I'm ashamed about Chichester for is that it has the lowest.
Yeah, that's exactly like Horsham. No,
1.7% of the population of Chichester
Really?
represents
seriously, I reckon it's less than that in Horsham, where
which
all my
is
friends
frankly
live.
like Pretoria in 1957, and it's a disgrace. And Chichester is addressing the problem.
Yeah.
So, and Crawley has overcome
but
the
the
problem.
thing is, you can't just move. You can't just because there's there's not much of an ethnic minority. You can't just move them in.
No, they have to come of their own accord, obviously. But what I'm saying is that a colourful community is a colourful community.
Yeah.
Could
I,
any way you look at it.
Yeah.
Yes, go on, and then you can go and
another
finish
thing about
your mum's advocaat.
that fella who quite like Hugh.
Yes.
Well, he's not actually gay, I don't think.
No, we are aware of that, and there's no question about it. And thank you for your call. And that's the end of it from your little house party.
Yes,
I think,
otherwise
but I have enjoyed
it's
talking
a
to
yellow
those
card.
lads.
Yeah.
No, I have really enjoyed listening to those fellow lads. You know what we didn't get a